Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet, a YouTube channel content creator actively alienating everyone in both the analog and digital world. Well, welcome and good evening, wonderful dice, all alignments. I am Lunar D8. This is Would You Like to Run an Idle Cafe? Let's start this. My name is Yokoyama Anayo, and I'm an average guy of medium height with a medium build, and my hair is stolen brown. I doubt you'd be able to pick me out from a crowd. It would probably be an understatement to say I don't stand out very much. There's nothing to commend me, nor anything make me appear special, but I wasn't always this ordinary. I went through a rebellious period back in my second year of high school. Subsequently, I fell in with a gang of delinquents. I did everything I could to emulate them. I bleached my hair blonde, I began cursing people indiscriminately, and I even learned how to ride a motorbike. I stopped attending school and my performance plummeted. My grades used to be pretty good, but after my transformation I plummeted to the very bottom of the class. My parents despaired in me, as did my teachers. What in the world has gotten into you, Minalia? It's like you've changed overnight. This isn't the sweet, well-behaved boy I remember. My mom often said, more like sobbed, words such as this to me, which tears in her eyes. She was so worried about me going back. Home started to feel like a pain. Sometimes I didn't return home at all, and crashed the night on the couches of my fellow gang members. I kept this up all the way to my third year of school. I didn't cut it out until a few months before university entrance exams rolled around. It was about this time that I realized, with a jolt, how stupid I was being. I was throwing my future away, and for what? Wasn't I wasting my time? I did a bit of soul-searching, and came to the conclusion that I didn't want to remain a delinquent. Sure, it was all fun and games when I was a teenager, but what about when I got older? How would I ever be able to hold down a job and make a living? Odds were I'd end up embroiled in something shady and then get sent to prison. That was the jolt I needed to wake me up. I dyed my hair back to its original black. I began to speak in a more refined and polite manner, and I started to take my education seriously. It was like the last 2 years of my life had never happened. I began studying for the university entrance exams, alongside my best and now my only friend, Ichigo, who sometimes had a bankai. I worked hard, but it was in vain. I wasn't able to pass entrance exams, which might be expected, given how little attention I'd paid the last half of high school. I have every intention of applying to university again so I can get a degree, and hopefully a semi-decent job. But that'll have to wait until next year. First, I'll have to hit the books. It's a daunting idea, trying to cram about 2 years worth of info into my head in only one. But I think I'll be able to do it. I might be average, but I'm pretty tenacious, and I don't back down from challenges. My stubbornness might be one of my redeeming qualities. I don't want my life to revolve around nothing but studying, though. If I'm going to get back on the straight and narrow, I'll need to start looking for some sort of job. If I was to start living with my parents, it would be such a big deal, but I'm not. I'm actually living with my friend Ichigo. It's a long story. We're not living in an expensive city, but rent still isn't cheap. Ichigo has her parents to help her out. But I explicitly told her, my own folks, I'd like to try and hack this whole independent living thing alone, without their aid. I'd feel kind of guilty if they bailed me out after I spent so much time screwing around. I guess this is my way of making it up to them, while trying to prove to them I'm not a totally lost cause. I can reinvent myself, and that's precisely what I'm going to do. To do that, though, I need a job. I've been searching for a few weeks, sending out endless job applications, and now, after all that hard work, I've finally been invited for a job interview at a local cafe. It's situated by the beach and called the Seaside Cafe. I've seen the cafe a few times in passing, and it looks pretty nice. Though, when I say that, I really mean the girls who work there look pretty nice. Though it's not a maid cafe per se, it's one of those places where the waitresses wear frilly skirts and aprons. Apparently the cafe is short on hands, and they're looking for a new waiter. Being a waiter is not the most glamorous of jobs, and neither is it that well paying. But it's still good, honest work. It's a start. I can't really afford to be a choosy given my lack of qualifications, not to mention my few criminal convictions. I'm glad I was given a chance. I don't intend to squander it. I've wasted too much time already. I'm under no delusion that this job interview will be an easy one, though. If the interviewer has done their homework, they should know about my past indiscretions. I bet they'll rake me over the coals for it. Who would want to work with a shoplifter? I might be reformed now, but still, it's not a good look. I'm by no means an attractive hire. but I'll try to go into the interview with optimism. I'm sure things will be fine. I hope they'll be fine. I can do this, can't I? Miss Miyamori. My, look at you. Aren't you a cute boy? You far exceeded my expectations, hee. Thanks, I guess. I surveyed the owner of the Seaside Cafe, over a table in the break room. She introduced herself to me about 5 minutes ago as Miyamori Ayane, the proprietress of the Seaside Cafe. She's a fairly attractive woman, I suppose, probably in her late 20s to early 30s. Though, given all the makeup she's wearing, it's hard to get an accurate read on her age. It's not like I can come out of this and ask her about it either. I've heard women are pretty sensitive about stuff like this. Hee. Miss Miyamori giggles quietly. You really are a darling. I think you would fit in quite well in my establishment. Several pretty young girls work here, but we have a dire shortage of handsome young men. I am a proponent of equal rights, and I think it's important to level the playing field a bit. Pretty girls bring in more customers, but I can't solely employ the fair sex. It wouldn't be fair. Right, so I shift uneasily in my chair. I hope I'm not sweating. That wouldn't make for a good first impression. Not that it matters, I guess. Miyamori seems too taken with me already. Are you interested in giving me a position? But of course. Miss Miyamori claps her hands together. You are a very sweet boy, and humble too. I love well-behaved children like you, he. Children? I frown. I'm not in high school anymore, you know. I'm an adult. There should be no problems then. I would be very happy to welcome you to the Seaside Cafe, dear Noya. So she's calling me by my given name, not my family name. Talk about forward. This woman seems kinda shameless. But, given her attire, I guess that's a no-brainer. I mean, her clothes look fine. Also, I think it's just because I'm an American, but just seems more normal to be addressed by the first name. Like, it'd be weird if someone, like, you know, addressed to me by my last name instead of my first name. But I mean, the difference of cultures, I guess. I mean, this game technically takes place in Japan. That being said, 1, she's cute. 2, I'd say the clothes are perfectly appropriate. That being said, I mean, if she wanted to wear less appropriate clothes, that's fine. But I wouldn't say I would read like anything inappropriate about her behavior from those clothes. Now, if she was here in like nothing but a bra, or like it was a belly shirt, I'd be like, it's not like I'm judging her, but at the same time, I'm like, it's definitely out of the ordinary. Then again, that also depends on what part of the country you're in. I think it's just the thing that America's such a large nation. Then again, China is bigger in terms of size. But again, that's also another thing. I mean, how many different sort of climate zones do you have in China? I mean, I'm just saying, how many countries, like how long would it take to walk across a country? Like you'd be able to walk across, say, England faster than you would India. So, I mean, different places are different depending on what different regions. Still, I like what she wears, and I think it's appropriate. Not that it really matters anyway. Might just be my imagination, I hope it's my but it looks suspicious like she's trying to push her chest together. Crap, I should probably stop staring. I am very flattered, Miss Mimura. You're calling me that? Miura pouts. That's still so stiff and formal. Well, this is a job interview. I'm trying to be polite. Oh, you? Miss Miura laughs and waves one hand in my direction. You worry too much. I do like serious boys, but you can afford to loosen up. This is no longer a job interview, dear. You already have the job. Boy, that was fast. She didn't ask me any questions beyond whether I have a girlfriend and if I think her clothes suit her. Something smells fishy here, and that isn't because we're so close to the beach. Now, why don't you loosen up? You can call me Ayane, just like everybody else. We're all one big family, Seaside Cafe. I'm everybody's hard-working, reliable big sister. I understand where you're going with that, but a lot of times, like, I've seen factories and corporations that refer to everyone as a family that really don't give a shit about the employees, and it's just, you know, a polite formality. But it's more so, you know, human resources. But seems slightly more genuine here. Then again, maybe I'm just thinking that because she's cute. I don't know. I'm just saying I've seen a lot of very big companies and factories misuse that and then be complete assholes. I'm just saying in the corporate world, you know, the CEOs don't care about people. We're all just numbers. You just, hey, are you... It's like, how much profit are you making? That's it. Everybody under this roof calls me Ayane. Even Mayuki, though it took her a while to warm up to the idea. She's very serious, just like you. I think the pair of you might get on, in fact. Probably should use the word along instead of on. Mayuki? I guess she's one of the girls who works here. If I'm going to work here myself, I'll probably meet her soon enough. That's something of an exciting prospect, but this flimsy excuse for a job interview has left me feeling quite a bit disconcerted. I think I'll keep calling you Miss Miyori, as it's same to you. I wouldn't want to overstep my boundaries, and I don't want to invite her to overstep her boundaries either. I think she's probably teasing, but you never know. I actually would be okay with that. But then again, that's probably just because I think she's very cute. I don't know. Let's just try to play the game and be all serious, not be pervy, okay? I'm not sure if it will succeed, man. So that's how it is. Miss Miyamori pouts. You really are serious, but never mind. I'm sure your cute big sister will be able to warm you up, hee hee. Cracking you is going to be a challenge. I can hardly wait. Yeah, sounds great. I'm glad you want to offer me this position, Miss Miyamori, but I do have a few questions. Such as? I frown. Didn't you look into my past at all? I thought that was a pretty standard procedure for taking on new hires. Of course. I always do my due diligence. Why do you ask? Well, my frown deepens. I'm not sure why I'm trying to sabotage my own chances. It seems self-defeating. I should just be glad Miss Miyamori is willing to overlook my past, and I am, but isn't this a little too easy? Don't you know that I used to be in a gang back in high school? I wasn't the greatest of guys. Oh yes, I know all about that. Then you should know I got in trouble with the police, too. Yes, indeed. You were caught shoplifting, weren't you? That's right. It's very funny. I wouldn't think it to look at you, but when I learned your past, I thought you'd be a tall, foul-talking boy with bleached blonde hair and tattoos. But you look quite ordinary. Yeah, well, I've done my best playing back. I'm an adult now. But back then, I was a stupid kid. I got into a lot of fights, and a lot of said stuff I didn't mean. There was no real reason for it. I just wanted to stand out and feel special. But this was in the past, yes? It was almost a year ago. Then I failed to see the issue. There's no reason why I should mistrust you when you're doing your best to put your best foot forward. I believe that everybody deserves a second chance, regardless of what they have done. With a few exceptions, of course. You've never stabbed anybody, have you? What? No, of course not. Or shot them. No. Where would I even get a gun? Right, Japan. Or dissolved any bodies in acid. Again, this is Japan. No way. That's evil. Or just a petty thug. Not a stone-cold killer. Then there's no problem. I can forgive a bit of shoplifting and even a few fistfights. Boys will boys, as they say, hee. You were very, very naughty. Your poor parents must have been beside themselves. But that has nothing to do with me. I am not your mother. I am your cute, reliable big sister. And I can forgive you for your past mistakes, provided they remain in the past. You wouldn't want to rob me, would you? No, I've already said I'm not like that, not anymore. Very good, you're such a sweet boy. Miyamori rises from her chair and smiles. Here's a heads up though, if you did betray my trust, I'd be beside myself. I think I'd cry. You wouldn't want to break your big sister's heart, would you? No, I wouldn't. Then, this arrangement between the two of us should work out wonderfully. I'm looking forward to working with you, Noya. Right, you too. Thank you for this opportunity. It's alright, you don't need to thank me. And don't be so distant. I might be your boss, but I'll have you calling me Ayane before the week is out. Right. I'm not sure if I like the sound of that laugh. It's kinda creepy. Would you like me to show you around the cafe? I'll give you a brief rundown of all your duties. and I'll introduce you to our cute waitresses. Now this is what I was really looking forward to. The waitresses in the Seaside Cafe are unmistakably beautiful, and they're around my age. I don't mean any offense toward Miss Miyamoto, but I'm not into women much older than me. I'd far rather flirt with girls my own age. Meet Mayuki and Ku. So, this is the new guy we'll be working with? A pretty girl with long, dark hair, who Miss Miyamoto introduces Mayuki surveys me with pursed lips. She's wearing a cute black maid dress with a white ruffled apron. A large red ribbon is tied to her throat, like a bow on a present. And her trim waist is cinched in by yet another ribbon, which is white. Her outfit is pretty standard as far as maid dresses go. Not that I know much about that, but there is one unique point amongst her apparel which stands out. She's wearing what appears to be a pair of cat ears on her head. Is that part of the dress code in the Seaside Cafe? I suppose it's not possible, but other waitresses standing next to Mayuki Ku, she called, isn't wearing cat ears. Is this something Mayuki asked to wear herself? I don't really get it. Strange though Mayuki's appearance is, she is pretty cute, as is Ku. Now, I wonder which of them is the cutest. I really should try to keep to shorter videos. But yeah, let me know if you guys want to see more of this. I'll probably get back to it at some point. Later.